Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever Appreciate Your Input podcast. I'm your host, Dalton Holland, and I appreciate your input. Basically, this is a new podcast we're bringing to the network of 302 Birds. It's going to be very unserious, sarcastic, unscripted, laid back, really just about a blend of life and sports. This is a new campaign that Jack and I are really rolling out here at 302 Birds. We had a really good conversation about we want to differentiate ourselves. We want to change the way that our fans consume sports. And this is just a new campaign of like a late night show, per se, that we're going to be starting to roll out on the weekends. I'm pre recording this, full disclosure. It's Sunday, March 9th. But the topics that we're going to record on these shows are going to hopefully be relevant all week. That's something Jack and I also talked about. So the discussion will be fun. It'll be upbeat. It'll just be stuff that you can comment about, get involved more, and learn about me, Jack, and the whole network even more. But without further ado, there's a lot on tap for tonight's show. We also got some special guests coming in. You guys know it wouldn't be a show on 302 Birds if I was doing this whole thing alone. It takes a village. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're going to kick off the show with the top 4 QB debate. I'm going to share why I think that Jalen Hurts is actually the second best ranked QB in the NFL. We're going to be dipping our toes in with the NFL draft. I'm going to preview a couple guys who I think should be good, who I think should be bad. KJ McCoy and Mikey D are going to be joining me for a March Madness preview and a midnight snack perfection. I'm going to give you my own debate on Coke versus Pepsi. And then we're just going to wrap up, maybe do some rapid fire questions, see how it goes. But like I said, late night show, laid back, vibes are good. If you're at home, if it's the weekend, go get a snack, go get a drink, hang out, have some fun because we're going to be having some. But cracking open my Pepsi right now. There's also going to be a grind your gears segment too. So just about things that grind your gears or things that you don't like. That'll be a way that you guys can kind of get to know me more as a person. And I'm sure you guys will definitely be laughing at some of my freakouts, some things that really grind my gears. But yeah, let's get into the first topic, which is the top 4 QBs in the NFL. In my opinion, this is a no-brainer for me. Obviously, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes is one. What I'll do is actually I'll just give you guys my list, and then you guys can hear why I think that. So kicking it off with number 1, Mahomes. 2, Jalen Hurts. 3, got Josh Allen. 4, I got Joe Burrow. And 5, I got Lamar Jackson. Here's why. Patrick Mahomes, I really shouldn't have to explain. Everybody kind of understands why he's the number 1 QB in the NFL. He's got the MVP accolades. He's got the Super Bowl accolades. He's got the Super Bowl MVP accolades. Dude's got it all. Jalen Hurts, however, is the youngest QB besides, or the only QB, I believe, drafted after Mahomes that's won a Super Bowl. Shout out to our guy JV from the JV show for telling us that this weekend on Sippin' Sports. But when I heard that, it just made this argument even easier for me, I think, which is Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson have none combined. So Jalen Hurts sweeps all of them as far as I'm concerned. And between the three of them, they've only started in one Super Bowl. One. That's kind of blasphemous that people are putting these guys in the same category, in my opinion. It's disrespectful. It's wrong. And I think it's time that the world admits and accepts that Jalen Hurts is the second best QB in the NFL, right behind Patrick Mahomes. QB is measured on a Super Bowl stat, and then it's measured on a win stat, and then it's measured on individually how you perform. When teams draft guys, they aren't saying, hey, how many MVPs can you get me? No, they're saying, how many Lombardi trophies can you bring my city? Philadelphia so far is 1-for-1 on QBs that they've drafted in the past 10 years. They've gotten one out of Carson and they've gotten one out of Jalen. I really hope that they can get more out of Jalen. We'll see. But that's what you want as an organization. You want to get at least one out of them. And I'll give Joe Burrow credit. He's made it, and I think he could move up to 3. Like, if you want to argue Burrow's at 3 versus Allen, I'd understand that. I wouldn't be upset. But what I would say is Josh Allen has played Mahomes so many times, it's hard to get the better end of that stick the majority of times. And I think Joe Burrow did it in one important game that really mattered. And then he did it the year after. And because of those 2 wins, I think people will forever say that he's Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite. And maybe he is. Maybe he is. I want to give credit where credit's due. But for me, just because Josh Allen's MVP year this year, you have a little bit of the recency bias in there. It goes Mahomes, Hurts, Allen. Then I would put Burrow and Lamar after that. Lamar is just getting the short end of the stick. I know that he actually has more MVPs than Allen. I just feel like Lamar isn't in that NFC championship more times than none. And that is something that doesn't play to his benefit. Lamar should be in that game. He should be in that Super Bowl. And he hasn't been yet. So if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm actually kind of pissed off. I'm kind of upset. Pardon me. But you guys invest all this capital, all this talent into a QB, into all these tight ends, and what do you really have to show for it? Not much. They're a great franchise, but the Eagles and them are on the same level right now, 2 Super Bowls each. Who would have thought? As an Eagles fan, when all my friends are Ravens fans and they had 2 Super Bowls and I had none, I would be so hyped right now. I would be happy as hell. But that's pretty much my top 4 elite QB. Darius Slay stirred all this up, so thank you to Slay for getting that topic started. That was a lot of fun. It was just something I kind of wanted to talk about and show why I think Jalen Hurts deserves his respect and why I think he is better than all those guys I just named. You guys can let me know in the comments your top 5 rankings. I'm interested to see them. As the NFL progresses, I think Jalen Hurts is going to move up more and more in people's rankings as we get closer to the regular season in August. But are there any underrated guys too? Are there any dark horses that I let off this list? CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. Who's your guys' most overrated QB? That's a fun one. You know who all Philadelphia fans say, and that's Dak fucking Prescott. But on to the next segment, which is dipping into the NFL draft. Just going to share some quick thoughts on some guys. So I'll start with 3 prospects who I think are really interesting. First off, Abdul Carter. If the Eagles draft Abdul Carter, I'm going to flip out. I'm going to flip out more than I drafted Nakobe Dean. I flipped out when they drafted Nakobe Dean because I really wanted a linebacker, and you guys know Nakobe Dean ended up being a stud. I'm going to flip out more than that because Nakobe Dean wasn't an Eagles fan. Now he is, but he wasn't before. So the fact that he wasn't before, Abdul Carter could just change this team. Obviously, he's not going to come here, but whatever team gets him is going to get a real game changer because that dude's a beast and a half. Intriguing to think if the Browns do it now that they have Myles Garrett locked up. I don't think that they will, but still intriguing to think about. Something I talked about with Jack yesterday on the Jackson Hour. I don't like Shedeur Sanders. I know some people do. Personally, I'm not a fan. There was a segment where he was on a podcast and he talked about how he had 2 different phones and he lost one of them. Okay, totally human. But he said, my mom couldn't find the second phone. Ooh, I don't like that. When you put it like that, that's annoying to me. That really pisses me off because it shows me that you don't have maturity. You lack confidence. And if you can't keep track of a second phone, number one, which is okay, that's understandable. But if you're going to blame it on your mom, are you going to blame it on your team when you're in that NFL huddle when things go wrong? You've already shown that you'll blame it on your offensive line, right? We all know that. You showed that this year. Probably not a good thing. But that right there is why I actually hope that the New York Giants draft him, because that lack of accountability would put back any franchise that's going to deal with it. So we'll see how Shedeur does. But in my opinion, I would stay as far away as I can from Shedeur Sanders just because his lack of accountability. He's a great athlete, but you look at the difference in him and like Lamar Jackson, right? Mobile QB, kind of coming out with the same hype. You don't really know, like it's that wild card. And the thing about Lamar had accountability. Lamar is a teammate. I don't think Shedeur is. That's my take. Somebody, Jackson Dart. He's pretty good out of Old Miss. He's had a great season, but I don't know too much about the kid. I did see a little bit on him at the combine. And what I was going to say is in his interview talking about Jalen Hurts. And he seems to be a pretty humble guy, a pretty organized young man. I think he's going to be a good QB. So whoever he goes out and plays for, I really think they got a good kid in him. It's funny because I actually thought about the Browns drafting him, but Ole Miss, I think, is going to start to put out QBs in the future in the draft. Mark my words on that. But I think it's going to be attractive for young QBs to go there with all the receivers that have came out of there. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, the list goes on. But I think for young QBs, when they go to schools, they want to know, okay, I want to go to a school that's going to invest in recruiting a wideout. I want to go to a school that's going to invest in the way we feed these players. And Ole Miss does all that. Plus, it's a fun school. It's a great place to go. I would not be shocked. QBs have an ego. I would not be shocked if Ole Miss is a good destination for a QB factory. But Jackson Dart's going to be the start of all that. How he pans out will really be the blueprint for some of the rest of these guys. Another thing I want to talk about, should the Eagles make a draft day move? No linebacker help. That was something I kicked around. I don't think that they need to do that. And that's I mean in the aspect of end, but edge rusher for sure. I definitely think that they need to bring in an edge. Like I would bring in, I guess actually outside linebacker. Um, Somebody that's more agile. I don't want an end. Like Brandon Graham was awesome, but the NFL is moving towards a more agile league where these tackles can do more. They got more moves. They got, their hands are better. They're bigger, better, stronger. You got to be just better. So, in my opinion, I think that the Eagles need to draft an edge. The edge is the future position of the NFL, and that's the guy that can make a difference in the Super Bowl. So, who could that be? I don't know if they're going to do something in free agency because there is actually a pretty good list of free agents that are out right now. I'll pull that up as I'm speaking. Josh Sweat, Khalil Mack, Joey Boza, Chase Young, Hassan Reddick, Von Miller, DeMarcus Lawrence, Harold Landry III, Aziz Olahari. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Emmanuel Agba, Carl Lawson, Clavon Chason, Derek Barnett, LJ Collier. Those are just some of the other names. Someone that I think would be a really interesting name for the Eagles in free agency, Chase Young. That would be hilarious. If you could return the favor to the Redskins, the Foreskins, and give it back to them the way that they took Zach Ertz from us and say, hey, we're going to take actually Chase Young, who was a Niner, and that didn't really work out. I guess he technically played in a Super Bowl, but he never got a ring. If he came to Philly, I really think that Chase Young could be like a generational player. When he came out of the NFL, they were talking about him being like the next Reggie White. Just a really insane, acute, sharp, in tune, high IQ, high athleticism player that a lot of teams wanted. And the Commanders got him. And we're all like, okay, there goes the end of his career. Well, I think if the Eagles could bring in Chase Young, that would be top priority. If not, I wouldn't mind Khalil Mack, Josh Sweat coming back. Don't want Joey Boza with all the shit that happened there. And then Hassan Reddick, I wouldn't mind another reunion with. But all those guys are older. Somebody in the draft, the only guy that I really would want early in the draft would be Abdul Carter. Otherwise, I'd probably stay where you're at with the Eagles pick. And unless you think that you have a way that you can, which I guess you're going to find out draft day, but unless you have a way that you can somehow do the impossible and trade up for him, I would stay at that pick 32 for the Eagles because this is a draft that has a lot of third round, fourth round, second round players. It has a good round of it has a good amount of first round talent. But it's really deep in like those third round guys. Like there's a lot of talent of guys that are just going to be middle of the pack starters will make a medium impact on your defense. But getting more into our fun topics, enough about the draft, enough about free agency. Let's talk about Coke versus Pepsi. This is one of the longest debates of all time. I'm actually the asshole of assholes, and I drink Pepsi out of a traditional Coca-Cola glass. Now, hear me out. You ever go to one of those, first off, shout out to the sponsor tonight, Nick's Pizza. Nick's Pizza is awesome. I'm actually going there on Wednesday night for their grand opening, and they're opening up this pizza place that's just going to feel like an old school pizza shop. Like a Pizza Hut in the 80s is the best comparison I can make. and this pizza place is going to be insane. But the glass that I like to drink soda out of at my house, confession, is one of those old school pizza glasses. It's a Coca-Cola one. I got some Pepsi ones on the way. They're actually supposed to come tomorrow. But right now I drink a Pepsi out of a Coca-Cola glass. So I'm a Pepsi guy. Pepsi's my personal favorite. To the people that like Coke, my mother, I don't mind Coke. I grew up in a Coke household. Like, so growing up as a kid, I would come home from school. I would drink Coca-Cola. It was good, but every time I got Pepsi, it just hit so much better. The sugar, I don't know. It definitely expires faster, Pepsi. I hear that argument. I get that. But in my opinion, Pepsi's a better soda. It's sweeter. And when you open it, it tastes better right off the bat, even as a fountain drink. The one time I will say that I love Coca-Cola, and I can't even lie, is when you go to McDonald's. McDonald's Coca-Cola is the best. The reason is they actually store that shit in a keg. So it's sitting there in a cold ass keg. It's almost like a fraternity, like Alpha Kappa McDonald. But in all seriousness, that's pretty badass that they do that. But for me, this is a no-brainer. It's Pepsi all day. Pepsi's been the classic one. Pepsi actually, I'm pretty sure existed first. You guys can check me in the comments on that, but I'm pretty sure it was around first. But let me know what you guys prefer, what your family grew up giving you, and what is your favorite soda. But moving along now into our next topic, which is actually a March Madness preview. I told you guys I was going to bring some good guests on for the show for the first ever segment. And we got Mikey D and KJ McCoy. Mac, how we doing?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Oh, wait. I'm kind of paused right now. All right. I'm good now. Doing good. Not too bad. It's been a great weekend, and I'm glad that you started this show. This is a really cool concept, and hopefully some people get to realize how good of a show it's going to be. And there he is.
Mikey
himself. Mikey D.
And dude, for the March Madness, I came ready. I came ready for the madness.
Well, hey, Mike, why don't you give us a preview?
All right, so this March Madness is going to be really tough to what's the word I'm looking for? Like fill out the bracket for. And as you can see over here, I'm actually getting a few out for you.
Money.
Oh, his nickname is Money D.
Oh, my bracket
is Money D.
I have a men's bracket and a women's bracket that I do. So you can tell I'm all about it. But if I had to say about this NCAA tournament, I think one thing I could say is that the SEC looks really good. Like, absurdly good. There's so many good teams that are in the mix. You got Auburn. You got Alabama. You got Florida. You got Texas A&M. You got Kentucky.
Tennessee.
You even have Georgia in the NCAA tournament right now. As for a football school, I mean, they hardly ever make the NCAA tournament. So it's kind of cool that you get to see them in there. But then on the other side of things, you have Duke with Cooper Flag. So I think there's a lot of teams that are heavy hitters that could make an impact, that could make a statement in the NCAA tournament. I think it's safe to say, though, that this NCAA tournament is going to be an absolute crapshoot. I can't say anything for my team, Penn State. We made the tournament back in 23. We started off good. We're absolutely terrible, and we're not even making the Big Ten tournament. Not the NCAA tournament. We're not even making the Big Ten tournament, which is absurd. We're just not good at basketball. But seriously though, it's crazy to see like all these basketball schools like Kansas right now in the bracketology is a 7 seed. UConn, the 2-time defending champion, shout out to our buddy Rome.
Rome.
UConn is an 8. Gonzaga is a 9. And North Carolina isn't even in the tournament. So
that is nuts to me.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Dalt's a
reminding me.
secret North Carolina fan.
Well, they're
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you for reminding me, buddy. Thank you. I really appreciate you reminding me that my team wasn't in the bracket this year.
No, it's not too late.
That was me who did that.
You still
It's
have
okay. I'm only ball busting.
you have the conference tournaments coming up. Right now, North Carolina is on the bubble. Selection Sunday is actually a week today. So I think there's a lot of teams that in these conference tournaments coming up this week, they have to go hard. They have to go completely hard in these tournaments. We've already had a few teams lock up their place in the tournament. Two of them are actually first-timers, and I bet they're schools that no one has even heard of. The first one who locked theirs up is a school called SIUE. They're from Illinois, SIU Edwardsville, which weirdly, SIU Edwardsville, who is in their first NCAA tournament, and then Omaha, not Creighton, Omaha. They're in their first NCAA tournament. They're actually playing their conference tournament right now, which that's actually something that kind of grinds my gears dealing with especially with this whole show, like that I could say something that grinds my gears, because right now Omaha is playing for the Summit League Championship against St. Thomas.
Omaha!
That's what I was thinking of. Peyton Manning. Omaha.
He's probably rooting for that team secretly.
So people would ask, like, oh, well, if they're playing for the championship right now, how are they in the NCAA tournament already? The thing that grinds my gears about this is that the NCAA has this stupid rule for new schools who can't make the NCAA tournament because they're transitioning from St. Thomas, who's in Minnesota. They're out of Minnesota. They're transferring from D3 to D1 because they're transferring, and the transition time is ridiculous. It's like 4 seasons. You can't make the NCAA tournament for your first 4 seasons. What do you have to show? What else is there to show? I mean, I could go on and on about that, but yeah, I mean, the chances that those teams win the tournament, let's be honest, is up a rat's ass. They're gonna be first. They're gonna be in Dayton, and that's it. But no, seriously though, about the other teams though, like you got the usual heavy hitters. You got
St. John's too, who's back in the mix.
Who?
St. John's.
Oh, I love St. John's.
Whoa, what's up with the affiliation with St. John's?
Rick Pitino. Probably Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino.
That's it. Yep, told you.
He turned that program around. I want to see them do good. And like I said before with the SEC, how they're completely stacked, it's the same situation Penn State was in 23. But I want to see Georgia make the tournament so bad. Last season, 23, of course, Penn State made the tournament. 24, Nebraska made the tournament. 23 and 24, Northwestern made the tournament. And now Georgia finds themselves in the same position that Penn State was in. See, the reason why I'm saying this is because it's these football schools that are oddballs. They're not really good at basketball. So it's kind of cool to see those kind of teams make the NCAA tournament. I don't think Georgia's going to win. I don't think they're going to win the whole thing. They might make second round and that's it. But it's still cool to at least hear them say, at least we got there. So, but again, the SEC stacked, the ACC, it's mainly Duke with Cooper Flag. The Big 12, you got your usual heavy hitters. You got Iowa State there, who's just dominating the conference. Houston, Iowa State, Houston. You got the Big 10. You got Michigan State. You got Purdue. So Tom Izzo never goes out of style. So, and I keep forgetting UCLA's in the Big 10, but they're in So it's just those heavy hitters that I think could win the NCAA tournament. But if there's one thing that this bracket right here has taught us, this thing is a total crapshoot.
Yeah. Nobody ever gets it perfect. There's never a perfect bracket.
And a 16 could beat a 1.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, you just never know March Madness. I mean, that's why I think it's one of the most exciting sports events, most exciting sports tournament known to man. It's just, I mean, every game, I mean, like you could see, as Mike just said, I mean, a 16 seed can take down a 1 seed. I mean, we've seen it like teams like Colgate taking down teams, or like teams that like you think Colgate, I'm like thinking of the toothpaste, and I'm like, what the heck? So it's like that's a crazy thing. So I think with March Madness, it's madness for sure. It's madness. It's madness, Mikey D. It's pure madness.
Well, and yeah, I mean, like the 2 16 seeds that have taken down a 1, like UMBC took down Virginia, and then Fairleigh Dickinson took down Purdue, and St. Peter's. St. Peter's was the first 15 seed to reach the Elite 8.
The Peacocks out of New Jersey.
Yeah, so, and I think Fairleigh Dickinson's out of New Jersey too, if I'm not wrong. I think
know.
that's
where he's originally from, New Jersey.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like, ever since, like, the thing is, like, of course, I'm a March Madness nut. I keep track of all the brackets. Whenever the games are on, like basically with what I have, the setup I have, like how the tournament games are on TBS, CBS, TNT, and True TV, I have all 4 of those games in the same screen in a multi-view. Oh, yeah. That's just like how much I care about it. Like, and to me, honestly, I just think like that's just the beauty of it. Like, you could watch all these games at once, and you could see like it's what it says: madness ensues. There's a lot of madness, and then you see like these teams take down other teams. 16s take down 1s, 15s take down 2s, 7 and 10s, 8 and 9s, total crapshoot. Can never pick those games. So I mean, the road to the Final Four is long and grueling, to say the least. Like, I can't stress that enough. It is one of the road to the Final Four is one of the hardest roads you can take in a sport. And I think everyone here can agree with that.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get on to the other topics. I know we got some people in the backstage, right, Dalt?
Yes, sir. You got it, Mac. Yeah. And I was going to say, KJ, at the moment, the 76ers are actually having a rarity, guys. They are actually up. So I know that me and KJ are going to have to get to doing the Sixers postgame show in a little bit too.
Yep.
But with all that being said, just wanted to address something really quick. So as you guys know, this is a late night show. I apologize because I was moving too fast. And I just realized I had my boy, the Jackson Hours, branding up. I don't know, but hey, he's getting some free advertising over there. Jackson, you know what you're doing. But speak of the devil, I mean, let's go ahead and bring him in. Yeah, I almost caught you slipping there.
There he is.
Yeah, be careful.
What up, fellas?
What up, Jack?
I'm doing well. I'm doing fantastic. We had a nice episode of Jackson Hour yesterday. So glad to be here.
Well, hey, I'm bringing all you guys on before I get to my last topic, actually for a pretty fun topic tonight. Might as well just start with the graphic.
Another guest from the backstage, actually.
Who's that guy? Who's he? I've seen that guy before, but I'm going to explain this really quick just so our viewers get it, and then we can kind of move along with it. But this is the fuck around and find out. On the bottom is obviously the fuck around, the risk of a stomachache. And then the find out is on your left. What you see is a ranking 1 to 10 on each side. And then on the bottom, Mikey D has his hand actually on the nuts or the almonds. Oh, pause. There is also some chips there, and there's cereal above that. There's milk and cookies, peanut butter and jelly you'll see on your top left, leftovers, as well as that's why I'm going to put this graphic full screen, and I'll remove this really quick. Give me 1 second. But you also have ice cream up there in the top left at a 10-10 because it pretty much always fills you up, but you always get a stomach ache. You got candy. I mean, it pretty much never fills you up, and you always get a stomach ache. But I'll let you guys go ahead and take this first. And we also had to bring in the big guns, Mr. Matty B to the house.
What's up, fuckers?
What's up, motherfuckers? Hey, you know what? That's a great way to kick it off. You know what? Just because you want to come in here and say, what's up, fuckers, I need you to give me your rankings, Matt. What is the best midnight snack that fills you up but doesn't give you a stomach ache, a tummy ache?
I gotta go with ramen noodles, man. They're easy to make and they taste good.
So I guess would that fall in the leftovers class on this graph? 10.6?
I guess.
So do you ever get a stomach ache from ramen noodles?
Very rarely. I have a Pepto in my room, and I have
I bet.
most of the time it's not a stomach ache, but most of the time I get heartburn from it.
Okay. And what do you, last but not least, what do you put in your ramen noodles? Pepto or?
No, I do. I actually I throw them in the pot. Like after I boiled the ramen, I put it back in the pot, and then I got some cheese and some hot sauce and stuff like that. I put in the ramen, and it makes it taste really good.
That is disgusting. That is horrendous. But anyway, Mikey D, Matt, I'm just busting balls, but thanks for being here. Mikey D, go ahead and take it.
All right, so let me take a look at the list here.
Go Phantoms, Mikey D. Go Phantoms.
Repping my local team, the Wilkes-Barre Strand Penguins. So
even though they suck.
Let me see. I mean, I'm not really a cereal person. I'm definitely both a mix of salty and sweet. So, like, I guess it just depends on whatever the night is. Like, I'll just have, like, one night I'll have, like, Pringles, and then another night I'll just have, like, I don't know, like a cupcake or something, like a tasty cake. People in Philly, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm from New York, and I know what you're talking about.
oh, yeah, East Coast people.
It's got to be
East Coast people. You'll know what I'm talking about. So I mean, for me, just like as like a late night snack, like sometimes I'll have chips, sometimes I'll have a cupcake, and sometimes I'll just have yogurt. Like that could be a guilty pleasure too. That pudding, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a leftover person in any way. Like leftover pizza, sure, but like I'm not really a leftover person. I was telling KJ this on the phone before. Whenever he comes to visit me, like we always like stay overnight, like in my hometown, and like we always get like fast food, and there's just something about, to me, there's always something about late night fast food that just hits different. Like I don't know why. It's just, I guess the taste, the flavoring, not the flavoring, but like the way they make it. Like there's just and even then I will just say this, I don't drink much. I don't drink at all, actually. What am I saying? But late night fast food still hits different. Does anyone here agree? Like late night, like McDonald's, late night Wendy's, like late night pizza.
Oh yeah.
Anything. Oh yeah.
I
I
agree.
know Matt Bair gets a lot of
late night Taco Bell, definitely.
Matt Bair, rank your late night fast food joints 1 to 5.
All right, I gotta go Taco Bell, Wendy's, and then McDonald's, definitely.
No, top 5. Two more.
Oh wait.
Two more. What the fuck did you not?
I'm trying to think of what's open late night. Definitely Burger King and definitely Chick-fil-A, definitely too.
All right.
Domino's?
And then my follow-up question for Mikey
I don't eat chain pizza.
Is what do you guys have anything that like unanimously gives you a stomach ache? Like every time you eat it, it just fucks you up the next morning? Or are you guys not at that age yet? We'll let Matt take it first.
There's nothing that automatically gives me a stomach ache. I'll tell you stuff that automatically gives me heartburn, though. Domino's
Fuck you,
pizza.
Matt. You will learn one day. It sucks when your body catches up with you. Mikey D, is there anything that messes you up?
I I don't think so. I think I'm not bragging in any way, but I think I could honestly say I think I have a stomach of steel. Like there's really nothing that like screws me up or like gives me heartburn or gives me a stomach ache. It's crazy. Like I basically eat like a lot of things and it's crazy. Like I mean, from what I could tell, like I hardly gain weight from it, and like I don't really get like any stomach aches or anything like that. It's crazy. I don't know how I do it. I guess I'll just have to, as Dalt said, fuck around and find out.
I will say what really, really fucks up Mikey D's stomach is seeing Saquon Barkley win a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
That hurts.
Yeah. Yep. Matt Bair's got a new Saquon Eagles jersey. He just got in the mail.
No, I don't.
But for me, I'm in bed by 11 o'clock, so I don't really have a midnight snack. But if I did, it would probably be like cookies, like milk and cookies, because they're always a good little snack to munch on, especially insomnia.
Go to bed. It's your mother.
Especially insomnia cookies. I don't know if you guys ever had insomnia cookies. It's a Delaware thing.
I can tell you about that.
Do you have a favorite?
All
Do you have
the
a
time
favorite
at Penn
insomnia?
State, Jack. All the time.
Yeah, no,
it's not a Delaware thing. I was gonna say there's one in Philly. There's one at St. Joe's. I was gonna say.
I only ever
There's
find
one at Penn State.
I've only ever had the one in Newark, so that's why I thought that.
It's like
anyway.
Grotto's. It's a Scranton thing.
I think Matt had one in Ohio State. I'm pretty
I
sure
love
when he was
Grotto.
on the campus of Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Chocolate-
I haven't had insomnia. I've had crumble cookies before. So.
Crumble cookies
I
like
know Tobias Harris has too. That fat bastard.
diabetes in a cookie.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I would say chocolate chip is the best insomnia cookie. The basic.
I don't know, KJ. You got when I come for the event, you guys gotta treat me to a crumble cookie.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
treat you to an insomnia cookie. How about that?
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I have dyslexia.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you. That's my thing, dickhead.
Yeah, that's Dalt's thing, dude.
I'm like sitting there like, he copied my whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar. But yeah, I think midnight snacks are a lot of fun. I have to say, the one that I fuck around and find out the most with is easily candy. Like anytime that I mess with candy, Starburst, Airheads, like especially anything gummy that I guess it's like it just sits in your stomach like in a ball, like and it just takes a while to decompose in your stomach acid or whatever. Anything like that fucks me up as I get older. It does fill me up in the moment, but it really messes me up. What I've learned is the best value, the best bang for your buck midnight snack that won't mess you up the next morning. Get your notepads out, kids. Is Old Reliable, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yes, my friends, a PB&J is the best you can get because it fills you up, but hardly ever does my stomach get upset from a PB&J, especially if you make it right. Like we had a buddy in high school who showed us and he said, hey, if you make a PB&J on a potato roll, it's like 10 times better. Went home, got potato bread, like Martin's potato bread, made a peanut butter and jelly on it. If you've never had a peanut butter and jelly on a potato roll or a potato bun, try it. It will change your game. Some honorable mentions for me was milk and cookies, and then leftovers is always a good one. What'd you say, Mac?
I was saying, you talk about like a brioche bun? Oh, yeah. What do you think about that, Mike?
It's not like a brioche. It is like the same
like that
time,
picture?
but it's not.
Oh my God.
That one's not Photoshop, Mikey.
Dude, I know. My team sucks dick. I know.
Oh,
they're gonna
shit.
suck dick for they're gonna suck dick for years to come.
Hey,
I'm fully
But my
prepared for
baseball
it.
team
also a
doesn't.
Giants
Unlike
fan.
the Phillies.
Team, Mike.
Aren't you a Giants fan too?
Yeah,
No,
I am,
he's
but I
the
know my team sucks.
Same here, but I know my baseball team doesn't.
Same here.
Oh, yeah. Mike,
we-
now
we
you got the little brother down. Wait, yeah, Matt. How does it feel? You took one soda from Mikey D.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Cannot wait for that. I am fully ready for Lindor to get on base and then Soto to bring him home right after.
I think one thing we can both agree.
Whoa.
I think one thing we could both agree as New York fans, these other three here, we still own Philadelphia.
Oh,
New
yeah.
York will always own
Oh, yeah.
Philly.
I had to hear Red October this, Red October that, all before the Mets series started. What happened, huh?
But yeah,
Oh my God. Well, hey, we didn't bring you guys on the show to talk about fucking New York baseball. We brought you guys on here to talk about food. We will bring you guys on here, though, at some point, maybe to do a debate for baseball or something, or maybe hockey. So stay tuned for that because you two are most of the educated, respected hockey fans I know. In all seriousness, you guys know your shit. But on your way out, Matt Bair,
I didn't get to answer the question.
Huh?
I didn't get the answer.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to get these guys out here so we don't get into a baseball ice hockey debate. Take it away,
this is
Matt.
almost like I try and keep it a little bit. I'm kind of like decreasing it right now because I don't want to have too much of it. But the thing is, I've always been, and it's been like maybe like 15 years straight, ice cream guy. I've always been like an ice cream guy. I always try and honestly, I sneak downstairs sometimes and I'll get ice cream at like 12 in the morning or something like that. Maybe 11. It depends. I would say ice cream for sure. But sometimes, like what Mikey D said, sometimes I'm in the salty mood, so I'll go for like chips or pretzels or something.
Chips or pretzels are always good. Do you have a go-to brand for chips or pretzels? Are you like a Hers guy?
Hers is good. I'd probably say Hers or Utz is pretty good too. I guess Utz is the same thing. I forget. I don't really know.
Utz is different.
Okay.
I actually do have something to say on that when it comes to chips. If you ever come here to my hometown of Scranton, there's a brand of chips you have to try. It's called Middlesworth. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
why does it sound like a bank?
From around my
like fucking
area.
Millhouse from The Simpsons.
It sounds like a bank.
What?
It sounds like a bank. Welcome to Middlesworth Bank, where we take all your money and
Matt,
put it in a chest.
Mute if you can.
Who?
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I was
sorry, my TV's on watching the game. I'll mute it.
Oh, I was like, who is he talking to? I was like, if they want to come into the show, this is the show to do it. This is
he's talking to himself. Matt's just talking to himself. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, if it's hockey, I get it. But
and we were about hockey and all that. Just for the record, how I was talking about my hometown, this is not a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. This is a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins jersey. So basically, you would know the team from The Office. How Michael Scott gave Dwight Schrute the it was the other way around. From Dwight jersey. Mine doesn't say from Dwight, but
which I've been trying to find for my good buddy Constantine. I've been trying to find that jersey. You can't find that official one, but they have T-shirts they sell on the website. So
you could buy the actual jersey.
You can?
You go on the AHL website.
They had the From Dwight jersy.
Oh, no, not. Oh, I thought you meant like the.
The From Dwight
eBay,
for the office.
maybe.
Yeah, you probably could. There probably is some on eBay, but I meant like the official
I thought you were talking about like, could you actually buy a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins jersey?
Oh, you can. I mean, Mike's got it on.
Yeah, I know. I want to get a Bridgeport Islanders jersey.
Mike, there's something that Jack has on his screen right now.
Saquon Barkley turns down salary increase for hold it. Saquon Barkley. Oh my God. Saquon Barkley turns down salary increase in exchange for Eagles' promise to just never trade him to the Giants.
And he just leaves like that.
Why am I the butt of every joke right now? Why are the Giants the butt of every joke?
Well,
I mean,
I'm going to actually get ready to move on to the next segment. So is there anything you want to say on your way out of here, Mikey D, about midnight snacks, any underrated, overrated, honorable mentions, anything I missed on this list, anything you would agree with, disagree with on your way out?
The only one I would say is what I said earlier about late night fast food, how it just hits different.
Yeah, hey, that's a great point. Well, Mikey D, we appreciate you joining the show, brother. You have a great evening. Matt Bair, Anything you want to say on your way out, brother?
There is one thing that's good that I think I have that you guys don't. You guys have Stella D'Oro cookies in Pennsylvania? I don't know. That's a good question.
I've never heard of it. KJ, have you?
Stella.
No, is it like some kind of like French kind of cookie or something
No,
like
they're-
that? Oh,
they're
it's a French cookie.
It's this Italian cookie company that is very popular in New York. They're amazing. Maybe when I come down for the thing, I'll bring a pack of their cookies. You guys, can
Yeah,
try.
you probably should.
We
do
should
that.
do a
amazing.
video, a taste test
You can
and
chuck
try
them
them
at
after
Jack.
this.
You can chuck the stale ones at Jack.
Oh, shit. Well, hey, Matt Bair, we appreciate you for joining
All
us. We'll see you soon. All right, brother?
Peace. See you guys later.
Had to bring in the big
right.
guns. And KJ
Yeah, there
McCoy,
you go.
anything you want to say on your way out?
I mean, these were great questions, Dalt. I like this show concept. I mean, this is a great idea to do this. I mean, mixing sports and foods and mixing all different kind of topics is just, I think, is a awesome idea. So I'm excited to be on some of these episodes. I think we'll probably see
you'll
Mikey
be on
D
here
and
a
Matt
lot.
Bair returning for sure. But yeah, I think my snack list is a go-to snack, and ice cream. I mean, if you don't like ice cream, I mean, something's wrong with you. Like, go to a mental institute because something's wrong with your head. That's what I think. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got to really say, and it should be a good. Oh, and I will say this, Dalt. As much as me and Mikey D love Abdul Carter to death, I mean, Abdul Carter is the man. He's not going to be an Eagle. And I came to that conclusion. It's just not happening. Maybe in 4 years he would, but it's not happening.
Unfortunately not. You're right.
Unfortunately, it's not. And now Myles Garrett, unfortunately, it's not happening either. For real, it's not happening. So that broke my freaking heart. I was pissed about that. So that's
real quick, 30 seconds on your way out of here. Is there any free agent that you would want Eagles fans to sign?
Ooh.
Like Hassan Reddick back, Chase Young.
No Reddick. Nope, never Reddick ever again. He squished his opportunity. He really just screwed the pooch. That's what he really did. And he could have been a part of something really special, winning a Super Bowl. He could have been a part of that, but no, he just had to kiss it goodbye and just like piss on the couch the way he did. So
Khalil Mack or Chase Young, Von Miller.
I would be fine with Khalil Mack, I would say. Khalil Mack, I think, could actually work with this defense. I think he could actually really work with Vic Fangio. I think Von Miller's a little, even though Vic Fangio did coach him with Denver, I think Von Miller's a little bit seasoned. I think he's a little bit older. So I think like we probably get him on a minimum contract. Chase Young, I think that's another guy too that you could probably bring in. So either Chase Young or Khalil Mack, I mean, that would be pretty good. I think to have a guy like that who, I mean, those guys have kind of been, you could say that Chase Young kind of is like a veteran if you think about it, but I think Khalil Mack's even more of a veteran for sure. So I would say either or I think is a good move. But I think offensive side, I think we're fine. As long as we don't lose like Becton or anything like that, I think we're fine. But I think Howie's the best GM in the league, and it's not even close. I mean, he'll make so much maneuver moves. He'll really know what to do with what we have with this final product. So I'm excited. I mean, it should be happening pretty soon, the free agency, like a couple days, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah,
I'm pumped.
It definitely
I'm excited.
should.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, hey, Mac, I appreciate you for joining me on the
I'll
first
see you in a
ever.
little bit.
And I'll see you soon for our post-game show. So come
Sounds
join
good.
that.
I think they're actually winning. So let's go Sixers.
Well, it'll be a great show then.
It will. Let's go.
Well, hey, that's pretty much all we got. I do actually have two more things for you guys, I must say. First off, I'm going to be spinning this wheel. And whatever this wheel goes on, I've had this wheel for a while and I haven't used it enough. I came to the conclusion. So you guys should be able to see it here. Whatever it rolls on is what my midnight snack is going to be. Now, here's the thing. It'll probably take a second or two to stop rolling. So I'm just going to sit it down here softly. And when it's done doing its thing, we'll find out. And I'll read it out to you guys. But while it's spinning and I'm waiting for it to spin and finish up doing its thing, I actually wanted to bring to you guys a different kind of segment. These are things that are my pet peeves. My top 5 things that really grind my gears. That's why Mikey D was alluding to it earlier. There's no specific order in this, please mind you. The first thing that grinds my gear is people who don't say, I thank you. Sometimes just saying thank you when somebody holds the door for you or holds an elevator, a thank you can go a long way. A thank you can build a relationship. So one thing that really grinds my gears is the people that don't have enough common sense to say thank you. Looks like our list is going to be rolling on what my midnight snack's going to be. Oh my God, if it's going to be peanut butter and jelly, I'm going to be so hype at purple. Oh my God, the suspense. Please come back to PB&J. Please come back. I think it's going to be on leftovers, which is fine because I still have leftovers on the counter. Let's see. Oh man, it's on leftovers. Yep. So leftovers is what I'm going to be having for midnight snack tonight. But looking at that, that's a 10.6. So I'll be full, and I have a minimal chance of getting a stomach ache tomorrow morning. Just for an update for the people out there that care. But back to the things that really grind my gears. So the first thing that really grinds my gears is people who don't say thank you. Little gratitude goes a long way, people. The second thing that grinds my gears is people that stop in the middle of a busy walkway. I'm talking they just stop. They stare at you like you're the problem. Get the fuck out of the way. What the fuck are you doing? So move aside or get swept up in the flow. Beat it. It's like ludicrous. Move, bitch. Get out the way. 3, group texts that should have been an email or you could have texted individually. Making a fantasy football league is different. You're going to be talking shit in that group chat all year long. It's established. But I'm talking like going to a date, doing something fun. Family, aunts, and uncles are notorious for this shit. Like the ones that are older that send a text message and it's, why do we need 15 messages about something that could have been one sentence? Huh? 4. This one really gets on my nerves, and it's gotten on my nerves as I get older because there's only so many seconds in the day. People who are always saying, yo, call me, but never want to be texted. You're like, yo, can you just text it? Yo, what do you need? Yo, I said, give me a call. What the fuck do you need that you need me to call you? Do you need like my voice activation or something to get in my bank account? What the hell do you need? I don't know, but I can't stand that. That's one of the things that take the longest. Why are we talking on the phone when you could have saved us both the hassle and just sent a text? I don't know. And last but not least, the thing that gets on my nerves, not the most, but one of them, is non-skippable ads on YouTube. It's the worst when you got to watch a 1 or 2 second video. I know I'm an editor. If there's any other editors out there, you're screen recording something, you're getting that sound effect, and then you're held up for a 15-second ad for a 1 second video. That really grinds my gears. And last but not least, an honorable mention. I am actually this person, so I don't really have one to talk. KJ McCoy, I'll bring on the stage to vouch for this really quick if he'll hop on here. The people that clap when a plane lands. I do that, don't I?
Yeah, he does do that, which I don't think anybody else was really doing that at that moment. But I mean, I kind of get that. I mean, I know some people who will not go on a plane. Actually, that's Mikey D. He will not go on a plane. I don't blame him though. I mean, there's been a lot of crazy accidents that have been going on. But I mean, if you think about it though, the percentage of a plane crash happening is really low, especially lower than someone getting a car accident. So, I mean, that's the crazy thing. But yeah, I would say, I mean, I've never clapped after a plane has went down. I never have, but I have seen people like you clap. But then I've heard people like yell too when like
clap when it lands. Clap when it lands. Like I'm proud when it lands. For context.
Well, I've just heard people do turbulence and everything. Like when turbulence happens, I hear people like yell and like my mom will actually like.
You might have heard me fart.
What's up?
I said you might have heard me fart next to you. Sorry about that.
I don't think I actually did, but I mean, good to know. Next time we go on a plane, I'll look out for that, and I'll make sure to have one of those little clothespins so I can get my nose ready for this. So I'll get ready. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you were probably the only person I ever seen clap. So that was funny though. That was a funny time.
Well, thank you for vouching for me, man. I appreciate you. So yeah, that's pretty much my last one. I mean, there are the people that do it. I am one of the people that do it, but it's like, there's no need for standing ovation, folks. We made it okay. So I'm one of those people, those cheesy people that do it because I don't know. It just freaks me out. I'm like Mikey D. I don't like being on a plane. Freaks me out. I'm not about it personally. Let me know in the comments. What are your pet peeves? What are your top 5 pet peeves? If you want, give me each pet peeve, but not in order, and give me all 5 in separate comments. That would really help the video out a ton. Different creative way to do it. But I want to thank you guys for joining the first ever episode of this podcast. I would say it's a success. We'll be debuting these either live on the weekends if we have enough energy to go live on the weekends, or we'll be pre-recording them. But these kinds of shows will be released late night on the weekends so that you can watch them throughout your week, laugh your ass off, have some fun. And I want to thank the amazing sponsors we have, starting off with Nick's Pizza. If you guys didn't know, Nick's Pizza will be opening up their new location this week, which is going to be exceptional. I'll be going there this week for a tasting, trying out some pizza. So I'm sure you guys will be seeing a video about that sometime soon. But if you haven't, please check them out. They're going to be doing pizza. They're going to be doing pasta. They're going to be doing salads, pretty much everything that you can imagine. And they're going to have their liquor license now. So beer and alcohol. That means my boy Mac cannot just take my pizza from Nick's. He can drink there now too. So it's going to be a real good time. I'm sure we'll be going to catch some Sixers games there and either drinking our sorrows away or tonight celebrating. But I want to do a big thank you to Nick's Pizza for believing in us from the start on this journey and sponsoring this podcast tonight. Also want to give a huge thank you to TickPick, one of our presenting sponsors. They've been an exceptional partner for us throughout the whole journey of 302 Birds, making sure that we can always be at these games getting best coverage we can for you guys. But that's pretty much all I got. I don't got anything else on the table. I was thinking about how I wanted to wrap this up because this podcast is going to be unlike any other podcast we've ever done before. And I think the ending is simple. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dalton Holland, and I